Hey, what's up and welcome back, treasure hunters. I am Joe, the treasure hunting dad, and today I have some auction buys that I want to go over with you. Some of them are from Goodwill, some of them are from estate auctions that I found online. There is a lot of value, so let's take a look at what I found. So honestly, I have been buying more on auctions, especially shopgoodwill.com, because every time I go to the thrift store now, I just have not been finding anything. I'll find some stuff here and there, but most of the time it's at thrift stores that I don't really visit that often because they're further from my house. My regular stops have just been really bad. So I've been searching through, shopgoodwill.com, different estate sales and auctions, trying to find some value there. And I did find some really cool stuff. So here's the first thing I found, and this is a photogravure, and it was done by Dr. Scott Watson. Got this at shopgoodwill.com, and it just looked really interesting to me. You can see kind of closer to dark, but just the way, it just kind of looked interesting. I thought that there might be some really good value. I didn't really find too much like this online, but when you open it up, it says California Secessionist, photogravure by Dr. Scott Watson, tree with gate and mountains in background. And then it has a price of $425. That had to have been a little bit ago. It's obviously not real recent. And I picked this up for $50. And obviously I could find a frame. This is a pretty common size. So I'm going to find a frame for this just to protect it. And so it looks nicer. There's a couple marks on the matting. I can try to get those out with an eraser or something, but this is the first thing I found, and just something different. I think this should be fairly easy to sell, and I'll probably price it somewhere in the $400 to $500 range. Here's the next thing I got, and this is just a cast bronze or brass eagle, and I picked this up on Shop Goodwill also. Got it for $26. And I don't know, this one was closing, like right when I saw it, had like a couple minutes left. And with Shop Goodwill, if you bid, with only a minute left or something, the time doesn't go up. It just keeps going down. So I just bid on this without really looking at it too closely. And it's not bad. There is a lot of detail in the wings and the tail and stuff. And I thought it was kind of cool that he's grabbing a salmon or whatever. And then the bottom is just, you can see it's cast. But for $26, I saw similar things selling between like $100 and $200. Nothing exactly like this with the wing spread. I'm not entirely sure on the age, probably something mid 20th century, I'd think. Not entirely sure though. I don't think, it's obviously not done by a recognizable sculptor or anything, just more of a vintage decorative piece, but I should be able to sell it. I have sold numerous bald eagle things, from paintings to large like carved wood sculptures, and I've sold like a finial from like a flag, so they sell pretty well, and I think I should be able to make at least $100. Next thing I got here, I actually got from an estate sale, and this is obviously a photograph, but it was done by Ruth Orkin, and from my research, she's a very well-known photographer, and this was one of her more well-known photographs, and there's a whole bunch of information on the back about this photo here. This one was redone in, it was taken in the 50s, but it was, reproduced in the 80s. This is a press version, which is smaller and not on the best medium. If you find, I found, other listings of this photo that were actually printed on very high quality, a lot larger and high quality paper from the 80s. They were, as high as like sold at auction for like $15,000. So crazy. But this one is only worth like a couple hundred. I got it again at an estate sale. I paid $25 for it. I'll probably find a frame for it just so it doesn't get damaged. I really like, vintage and antique photos. So it's definitely grabbed my attention and didn't really cost anything to ship. So I should be able to, I'll probably price this in the $100 to $200 range and post it as soon as I get like a frame. Here's the next thing I got. This is a dry point etching and it was done by William Lee Hankey. And this one's actually called The Chart. It's titled The Chart. And you can see down here, it is titled, and then it also has his stamp here, and then also in the plate, William Lee Hankey. And then on the back, there's a gallery sticker thing with all the information. Basically, original dry point, circa 1922, signed in pencil, also has the monogram in the plate and the blind stamp from the edition of 100. And it's on fine, rich impression on cream wove paper with whatever margins. So it's a real thing. And I got this at Shop Goodwill. I think I paid with shipping, it was like around $70. All I did was, they showed the back and everything. I just searched the artist and found a bunch of his etchings and stuff. The prices were kind of all over the place. I saw one as high as like $1,600 on eBay, and then most of them though were around the $375 mark. And also on Live Auctioneers, you can look at their auction results, and that was kind of like between $400 and $500 where they were selling. So I'll probably price this somewhere around $350 to $400. Here's the next thing I picked up, and this is an oil painting on canvas, no frame, probably mid-century. And I got this at Shop Goodwill too. I just really thought it was well done. It's really detailed, and I just like how the trees fade into the background, and I don't know, I just thought it was pretty cool. Got this for $30 with shipping, and here you can see the back. It is has a little bit of stretching here, but what are you gonna do? It is signed, but I haven't been able to ID the artist. It's pretty hard to read, but it's very faintly signed there in the path. So hopefully I'll be able to figure out who painted this. If I can find a frame at the thrift store, I'll definitely put a frame around it because I think it'll look a lot better. Anyway, I should be able to sell this between $100 and $200 without, having to find out who the artist is, but hopefully I can. So the next thing here I'm going to show you, I don't have with me because I already sold it, but it was this hand-carved wooden shorebird. And this was done by HV Swords. It's just, it was not real small. It was just kind of medium-sized, hand-painted. All I did was look up, the artist on this one and found, there's a whole bunch of different sculptures of birds and ducks and everything else. Pretty collectible. And I ended up buying this for $50. And I got an offer on eBay like real shortly after, I posted it. I had it posted, I think, for $2.99, and some guy offered me like $125, and he said he collected them, and that's all he could afford at the moment. He doesn't really need it, but he just, if he could get it at that price, then he would pay that. So I just accepted, you know, it's profit still, and you know, I like to move things as quick as I can. I made more than double what I invested, so it's fine with me. So here's the next thing I got, and this is an oil painting on board. This was done by Val McGann, and I got this from Shop Goodwill also. And it was titled with, you know, the artist name. The artist name's in this little plaque, and it's easy to read on the painting itself down there in the corner. So it's just a really easy buy. I believe the artist is from Maine, because this one is titled Incoming Tide, Maine, and they had some other paintings from Maine. So a lot of seascapes. I paid $55 for this, and all of the other paintings that I saw were in the $400 to $600 range. But this is another example, just, you know, looking at it, it's real nicely done. It's in an, you know, it's not the best frame, but it's a nice wood frame. And just Googling the artist and, you know, oil painting signed Val McGann, and, you know, a whole bunch of search results came up. You know, also searching on liveauctioneers.com, you can search their auction results, and if anything comes up on there, then you know that at least the artist is selling at auction. Both of those were good, and pick this up. I'll probably price it around $400. So here's the last thing I'm going to show you today. This is an oil painting on canvas. Now this one, I believe it was signed somewhere, but I couldn't make the signature out. But I also got this on shopgoodwill.com, and I only paid $30 for it with shipping. That's why I got it. They did have some good photos, actually. You can see the nails. They're actually like these real, they have big heads on them, which is a little different than what I normally see. And here's the back. So I'm not exactly sure how old this is, and I'm not sure who painted it yet, but I don't know. I liked it when I saw it. It's got some texture down here on the cliff, and hopefully I can figure out who painted it if I can decipher the signature. But if not, I could probably still price this in the $200 to $300 range. So those are the recent auction buys. I have a couple other ones that are being shipped. Some really cool paintings that I found at an estate auction. It was actually in Canada, so it'll probably be here next year or something. I got 3 pieces from that auction. That should be really cool. I have created quite a stockpile of thrift store finds over the last couple weeks, but I mean, it was like difficult to get, you know, anything out of the thrift stores around me. So I have some cool stuff. I found some really valuable stuff for awesome prices. Stay tuned for that. I'll probably drop that video hopefully at the end of the week if I can get it finished up. But I have a wedding to go to this weekend, so who knows. So anyways, thanks again. If you have any questions, just drop them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Hit that like button for me. And please subscribe if you haven't, if you enjoyed the content. I'll be back soon with a new video, but until then, I wish you the best of luck treasure hunting.